In this video, traders, let's talk about how to trade when you are already busy. Stay tuned. Good evening, morning, afternoon to you traders. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining me and spending a few minutes with me talking about how to trade when you're already busy. Listen, I know that many traders are in this situation. You're a part-time trader, you've got a full-time job, you're running a business, you've got a family, you've got other commitments, and you're trying to fit trading around your already busy lifestyle. And it's frustrating, right? You come to the market and you go, man, let's see these moves. I'm missing this move. I would have got that if I had been there. And then it's a cycle of frustration. Maybe you take a few trades, maybe you try something out, and ultimately your equity curve isn't really doing what you'd like it to do. You're getting frustrated because you feel like if you had more time, you'd be able to do better, have better performance. And it's this vicious cycle. And eventually you either throw in the towel, you say it's not for you, or you say, hey, I'll revisit it when I've got a bit more time. And I think there's a better approach. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, is this, and I've seen other traders work for other traders. You know, fortunate enough that maybe we're in a different situation to other people who have got a job and have got all this type of stuff, but you're still kind of working with what you've got, right? And, you know, if you're working full time and you're doing trading as well, if you are, you know, all these things, you don't seem like you have much time, but you probably have a bit of time. And so sit down and go, hey, what have I got in terms of time? And you go, actually, you know what? I can probably spare 20 minutes a day, Monday to Friday at this time of night. You can probably spare that. You're a busy guy, busy girl, but you've probably got 20 minutes. And so you go, okay, so I've got 20 minutes. What can I do in those 20 minutes? Well, what I can do is I can maybe scan these basket of markets that I like to watch. Maybe I look at the NASDAQ, maybe look at the DAX, gold, crude, whatever it may be, for a specific setup. Now I'm going to go into setups and strategies in this video. Loads of other videos, guys, we can check them out too. But it's having that focus, and you go, right, ding, sit down, I can have 20 minutes of no distractions in the evening, and you can scan. And you can say, right, this is the trade I'm looking for, these are the charts I'm looking through, and maybe you don't see anything, and maybe the next day you don't see anything, and then maybe on the Wednesday you go, hey, there's something, I'm going to place some orders in for the next day, or I'm going to trade it. If it hits a level that I've got alerted, maybe from your phone, maybe you access your phone. I wouldn't recommend making a trading decision from there, but if the decision's already made and it's just you looking at the alert and double checking that it's not from news, you're like, okay, I'll take it, then that's fine. I think that's fine. As long as you've got the risk structured, you've got a stop in place. So you can still get involved with the markets. And the secret to this is that you now flip the way that you see the markets. Rather than a sense of frustration and, oh, I wish I had more time. If I had more time, I'd be better at trading. It's a case of, okay, I'm working with what I've got. I'm solving the problem. You're an entrepreneur, you're a trader. And your objective is to solve problems. The big problem we're trying to solve as traders is, how do we extract money from the market? How do we risk a little amount and make a lot? That's what we're trying to solve. But there's other problems to solve along the way. And one of them is, if you don't have the time, you don't feel you have the time, is to not necessarily make the time, but allocate the time. And say, okay, I do have 20 minutes each day. I can do this. And so now you have this plan of action, and it might not be perfect. It might not make you what you want to make and start off with, but it's moving forward. And you have a plan. You say, hey, I'm going to scan this chart, this chart, this chart, this chart, this chart for these patterns. And then you look and you say, yes, I like this, I like that. Or maybe you focus on one instrument. You say, hey, I like to trade these intraday moves. I can't trade intraday, but I can put pending orders and resting orders with stops covering them. I could trade that manner. And so whatever opportunity you have and time you have, it's coming up with a plan that suits that, running with it for 30 days, and then looking at what you've got and saying, hey, how have I done? I've traded very, very small. There's no real considerable financial risk to this. And I've managed to feel like I've made a tiny step forward, in that I'm no longer looking at the market as a sense of frustration. I don't have time to do it. I'm solving the problem that I've got. Because otherwise you're going to be in this circle where you go round and round and round, frustration, lose money, frustration, lose money, need more time. You're never going to get more time. And so that just is going to end where it ends. You know where that's going to end. And so this way you might get to a situation where actually, hey, I've made some progress in 30 days. I might allocate a bit more time to it, and then a bit more. And who knows where that could be in a year's time, 2 years' time. And so it's work out exactly how much time you have and when. And that might not be 20 minutes a day. It might be, hey, I've got 2 hours on a Monday. And so you adjust your strategy and your plan to suit what you have. But the key to all of this is to allocate this, to find the time, allocate it, put it in your calendar and stick to it. put together a plan of action based on what you've got. And that example there was, I've got 20 minutes a day, I could probably do this and swing trade this. And maybe you don't want to be a swing trader, maybe you want to be a day trader, but just getting experience doing something in a structured manner is going to set you in good stead. It's going to give you market experience, you're going to get used to taking profits, taking loss, seeing how markets trade, and that dedicated focused time is going to help you move forward and stick with it for 30 days. You know, and that just comes down to your discipline. It's like, right, I've said I can do 20 minutes a day, for example. I said I'm going to scan these stocks. I said I'm going to look for this. I said I'm going to place these orders within this type of strategy and see how it goes. And as long as you're risking a very, very small amount, or if you're on demo, whatever it may be, then it can't harm you managing the risk, capping the risk, etc. It just helps you move forward. And what it does is it breaks that, I've not got enough time cycle. It's like, you've got it because you've allocated the resources you need and you have at this moment in time. At some point in the future, maybe that allocation will change. Maybe you'll be in a position where you'll be able to say, you know what, I'm going to do half the working hours, I'm going to spend more on my trading because I want to do X, Y, Z. Who knows? But you work with what you've got, you're in the position you are, and be grateful for it. Be grateful for the fact that you are in that position. Okay, I'd like to do trading, but I'm doing this, it's paying my bills, etc., etc. I've got the friends, time with the family, got a great family, friends, whatever it may be. But trading can still fit in there. I'm sure you can find a little bit of time, or whatever time you can find, you work a plan around that. And that really does help. And I've seen work with traders who are very, very busy. You know, they're running businesses, they're working at very high level jobs, very stressful jobs, have found it, and they manage to carve out very small chunks of time throughout the week and start to get traction. They're like, it's working. And actually that can serve you. Final thing is that can actually serve you. Sometimes being restricted with the window of time you can operate can serve you, versus some traders who come in, they've got all day, they're full-time traders, they've kind of allocated all their resources to it, and they end up over trading, they end up over analyzing, they end up doing stuff because they've just got that massive amount of time. So it can serve you. And think of your story. What's your story going to be like when X years down the line you look back and go, you know what, I started by doing just 20 minutes a day. I used the resources I had. I didn't whinge about it, I didn't moan about it, I didn't blame anything. I said, I've got this, I'm going to work with this, and then I expanded it and expanded it and expanded it and expanded it. And who knows where it could be. Not saying that's definitely going to happen, but it's perfectly feasible. Take care, keep this managed. See you next one. Bye bye.